Inniswell Ministries International presents Stories for My Grandson. Well, grandson, this is for you, but this is for the older young people too. And I'm sorry that I have to bring this back, but we're going to talk about bullying again. Um, Bullying can happen in school, on the job, wherever you are susceptible to being bullied. As Christians, we're set apart. And so, because we're a set apart people, because we don't do what everybody else does, it makes us different. And when you're different, it kind of puts a target on you. Young people, well, grandson, if anyone should bully you for any reason, you immediately tell your mother. You immediately tell an adult in the vicinity. You don't take it in your own hands to try to handle the situation. You let an adult know at, like, if you're at school or at the park, like wherever you are, you tell an adult, you tell your mom. Two things. You tell an adult, you tell your mom. And the rest of you young people, you tell an adult and you tell your mom, your parents, and if you're old enough to journal, you start writing in a journal. Every incident, you ask to do a formal complaint at school so that you start to make a paper trail, because we're not going to continue to have these situations where kids are getting really where kids are hurting other kids. We're not going to have the situations where kids are bullied and they want to hurt themselves. We're not doing that. We're not. This ends. And this is going to end if we end it. Because once we start taking it seriously and we start documenting everything, and we go from teacher to principal to superintendent. If teacher doesn't want to do anything, then we go to the principal. If the principal doesn't want to do anything, then we go to the superintendent. Superintendent doesn't want to do anything, we go to the school board. If the school board doesn't do anything, we go to the Department of Education or whatever is put in its place after. So we don't have the Department of Education, so we have Department of Health and Human Services. And so where whoever is in charge of education in that there, that's who we go to. Everybody has a boss, everybody. So you just keep going up the food chain. Grandson, you are a Christian and you are going to stand out, and that's okay. But if anybody tries to attack you, I don't want you fighting everybody. I understand you have to defend yourself. I don't want you out there just fighting. I want you to tell an adult and tell your mom so we can start a paper trail. So if anybody thinks they're going to be bullying you, they got another thing coming, because we're going to paper trail. And if we can't get anything accomplished through the schools, then we'll go through legal channels. We'll go through the police. We'll use the court system, because we're not having that happen to you. And we'll keep the paper trail. Young people, you need that paper trail. You need to be writing formal complaints. You're old enough to do that. If you can write, if you can write a story, you can write a formal complaint. And if you can't, then you ask your parents to help you, because paper trail. Things are going to change because we are going to change them. We will no longer have this bullying going on where adults aren't doing anything about it. Adults are going to start doing stuff about it. We're going to intervene for you. So you let us know. I don't want to lose another child, not one more, from bullying, either being bullied or fighting back your bully. Either way, I don't want to lose no more children being lost. Um, these things happen on jobs. Back when I was working at my the job I retired from, there was a lady, and we were friendly before, but she got married to a guy. Now this guy was a gentleman, and but he was a handsome guy, and some of the women on the job would say stuff to him, like inappropriate things, but I never did. But for some reason, she had a thing about me, and so she started picking at me and started writing stuff about me, like writing uh, things like. And so it started. It was one meeting, then two meetings. And it was like, Dana, why don't you like her? What? I'm being attacked here, right? So bullying goes on at the job. And I just started documenting. And it ended up not being anything. But it was just the fact, like, here I have to deal with meetings talking about why don't I like her. That's her insecurity. Her insecurity caused her to come for me. And so people will do that to you, whether at school or at a job. People will do that in organizations you might be in sports. People will come for you because of their insecurities. And you can't allow their insecurities to have an effect on your life. And so that is our plan, young people. Grandson, your job is, if somebody's messing with you, you go to the teacher, and then you come home and you tell your mom. You have your mom, you ask mom to send a letter to the teacher. Young people, we are documenting everything. And so if somebody's messing with you and you tell the teacher, you tell your parents, and you have your parents' email. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have a paper trail going. We're not going to tolerate this. We're not going to have it. Bullying is real, and adults do it, and kids do it. But it gets to the point where the bullying can stress, even if it's not a physical, it can become stressful. And we're not doing that. And so the trick is to document. And once you start documenting, then you have something to go on. And if the school's not going to do anything, then you go to the police, because harassment is a crime, whether it's physical or psychological harassment or verbal. Harassment is a crime. You can't harass anyone. And so that's our plan. We're not going to let it get out of hand. We're going to be on top of it. All right. Well, I love you, young people. Grandson, remember that Grandma loves you, but Jesus loves you more. And join us again next time when In His Will Ministries International presents Stories for My Grandson. Until then, bye.